It all started with whispers, quiet, careful, and meant to stay behind the scenes. But when Yandy decided to spill the truth about Kirk Frost's long-rumored affair with Jasmine, everything exploded. The love and hip-hop circle went from calm to chaos in seconds. Cameras were rolling, tensions were high, and before anyone could blink, Rasheeda, Kirk's wife, snapped. The betrayal, the embarrassment, the years of rumors resurfaced all at once. And Yandy found herself in the middle of a storm she didn't see coming. What made it worse was how Yandy delivered the truth, not through gossip, but by exposing receipts, screenshots, timelines, and names. She'd had enough of watching lies destroy families behind closed doors. And this time, she wasn't going to protect anyone. But what she didn't expect was Rasheeda's reaction. The usually composed bosswoman lost all control, lunging at Yandy in a shocking moment that no one on set could stop. Security rushed in, cast members screamed, and the whole scene spiraled into pure madness. The footage spread like wildfire online, and suddenly everyone had an opinion. Some said Yandy went too far, airing someone else's dirty laundry, while others applauded her for standing up for the truth, especially since the same lies had affected her in the past. But one thing's clear: Rasheeda's fury wasn't just about the affair. It was about betrayal from someone she thought was a friend. Because once Yandy opened her mouth, there was no going back, and everyone involved is now paying the price. The day started like any other on-set lights. Cameras and rehearsed smiles hiding the tension that always simmered beneath the surface. But that tension didn't stay buried for long. Yandy had been holding back for weeks, watching as Kirk Frost and Rasheeda kept up appearances while the truth sat heavy in the room like smoke. Rumors had been swirling again about Kirk's ongoing connection with Jasmine, the woman who nearly tore his marriage apart years ago. Everyone had brushed it off as gossip until Yandy dropped the bomb that changed everything. It started when the topic of loyalty came up during a group discussion for the show. The cast was talking about relationships, second chances, and what it really means to forgive. Yandy, visibly frustrated, cut through the conversation and said, "Some of y'all keep talking about loyalty, but can't even admit when your man's still creeping with the same woman that broke your home?" The entire room froze. All eyes turned to her, then to Kirk. The silence that followed was thick enough to cut. Rasheeda's face went blank, the kind of blank that comes right before a storm. Producers didn't know what to do. Some whispered for the cameras to keep rolling, while others tried to diffuse the tension. But Yandy didn't stop there. She pulled out her phone, scrolling through screenshots that she'd apparently been holding on to. Messages between Kirk and Jasmine that no one was supposed to see. Kirk's expression said it all. He was caught off guard, fumbling to explain himself. Rasheeda's hands began to shake as she stared at the screen, realizing that the betrayal she thought was buried had come back to life in front of everyone. The crew went silent as Rasheeda stood up, her voice trembling with fury. "You mean to tell me this been going on and you knew?" she shouted at Yandy. But Yandy didn't flinch. "I didn't plan to say anything," she said calmly, "but I'm tired of sitting around fake smiling while people pretend like everything's good when it's not. He's been lying to you, Rasheeda. That was all it took." Rasheeda's chair flew back as she lunged toward Yandy, shouting words that were bleeped out before anyone could make them out. Security jumped in instantly, holding her back as she screamed at Yandy for exposing something so personal. Yandy tried to defend herself, saying she was only telling the truth. But Rasheeda wasn't hearing any of it. "You don't know what I've been through with this man," she yelled. "You don't get to humiliate me like that." Kirk tried to intervene, his voice cracking as he tried to calm her down, but it only made things worse. Rasheeda turned on him next, screaming that he'd made her look like a fool again in front of the world. Yandy's face showed a mix of guilt and frustration. She hadn't meant to start a war, but she couldn't just sit by anymore. "You deserved to know," she said softly, but Rasheeda wasn't listening. The damage was done. Word spread fast across the set. Producers, makeup artists, even security staff were whispering that the fight might be one of the wildest moments in the show's history. And it wasn't even about the fight itself. It was about the truth that came out. Because once the cameras stopped rolling, everyone knew this wouldn't end with a few apologies. Old wounds had been ripped open, reputations were hanging by a thread, and friendships that once seemed solid were crumbling by the time filming wrapped for the day. Rasheeda had stormed off set, refusing to speak to anyone. Kirk followed her out, trying to explain, but she pushed him away. Yandy sat in silence, staring at her phone, knowing that what she'd done, though honest, had just changed everything. The cast knew it too. The calm, polished image of their relationships had been shattered. And deep down, Yandy realized she might have just started something that no one would be able to control. The fallout from Yandy's explosive revelation spread like wildfire. By the next morning, blogs, fan pages, and gossip sites had already caught wind of what happened on set. Headlines were everywhere. Rasheeda snaps after Kirk's affair exposed. Yandy brings the receipts. Chaos on Love and Hip Hop set. Even though production tried to keep the footage under wraps, someone had leaked a clip from behind the scenes. A few seconds of Rasheeda lunging at Yandy, screaming her name in pure rage. The clip went viral within hours, and suddenly, what was supposed to be a private confrontation became national drama. Rasheeda wasn't answering calls. She'd gone completely silent. No posts, no comments, nothing. Fans were worried, but insiders revealed that she was furious not only with Kirk, but with Yandy too. She felt betrayed by someone she considered a friend. According to one crew member, Rasheeda had told producers she wanted Yandy off the set, saying she crossed the line by airing her marriage problems for the world to see. Meanwhile, Kirk was doing damage control, calling Rasheeda nonstop and sending gifts to her store in an attempt to win her back. But it was too late. Rasheeda had reached her breaking point. Yandy, on the other hand, was standing her ground. She told close friends she didn't regret exposing the truth. She'd just gotten tired of fake loyalty. Everybody smiles in your face but keeps secrets behind your back, she said in a private conversation that later leaked online. If you're going to live a lie, don't expect me to protect it. Those words sent shockwaves through the fan base. Some praised her for being real, while others accused her of stirring the pot for attention. But Yandy insisted that wasn't the case. To her, it wasn't about views or clout, it was about honesty, no matter how uncomfortable it was. Behind the scenes, producers were scrambling to bring both women back on camera. They saw ratings skyrocketing, and they knew this storyline could define the entire season. They offered Rasheeda space to tell her side. But she refused unless Yandy apologized on camera. Something Yandy made clear she would not do. "I didn't lie," she said. "I showed proof. What's there to apologize for?" That statement made things even worse. Rasheeda took it as disrespect, and when she finally returned to set for a private meeting with Kirk, her anger hadn't cooled. She was cold, distant, and focused only on business. During that tense meeting, Kirk admitted that he had slipped up, but tried to downplay it as a misunderstanding. Rasheeda's face hardened as she listened. "You said that the last time," she said quietly. "How many times am I supposed to believe you?" Kirk tried to reach for her hand, but she pulled away. "You don't just embarrass me privately anymore, Kirk. You make a fool out of me in front of millions of people." The weight in her voice was undeniable. For years, Rasheeda had been the strong one, forgiving, rebuilding, and protecting her family's image. But now, she looked like a woman who had finally reached her limit. Later that day, Yandy showed up to a scheduled group scene, and the energy was ice cold. Everyone avoided eye contact, unsure of how to act around her. Sierra and Erica whispered that she was too bold for her own good, while Spice said she only said what needed to be said. It was a split crowd, half of them supporting Yandy's truth-telling, the other half seeing it as betrayal. When Rasheeda finally walked in, the room went silent. She didn't say a word, just glared at Yandy before sitting down. Yandy tried to speak calmly. "I didn't mean to hurt you, Rasheeda," she said. "But I wasn't going to sit there and let you be lied to again. You're my friend." Rasheeda laughed bitterly. "A real friend pulls me aside. You wanted cameras? You wanted a moment?" Her words cut deep, and Yandy's eyes dropped. "That's not true," Yandy said quietly, but Rasheeda wasn't listening. "You think you helped me, but you humiliated me." The tension was unbearable. No one moved, no one spoke. Even the crew stayed frozen, afraid to interrupt. It ended with Rasheeda walking out again, slamming the door behind her. The producers called for a break, but everyone knew this wasn't just for show anymore. This was real emotion, real betrayal, and real pain spilling out in front of the cameras. And while Rasheeda's marriage was falling apart yet again, her friendship with Yandy had officially gone up in flames. The damage was done, and there was no taking it back. What no one expected, though, was that this was just the beginning. Because while the internet was busy choosing sides, another shocking revelation was about to surface. One that would change the entire story and turn Yandy's truth-telling into something even messier than anyone. Imagine the tension between Rasheeda and Yandy didn't fade, it only grew. Stronger as new information began to surface. After the viral chaos, someone leaked additional screenshots online. Messages that didn't just expose Kirk and Jasmine's secret meets, but also hinted that a few other cast members had known about it long before Yandy spoke up. Suddenly, Yandy wasn't the only one under fire. The entire group found themselves dragged into the mess, accused of covering for Kirk to protect the brand. The truth had turned into a wildfire, and nobody could escape the flames. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was trying to regain her composure, but behind the scenes, she was falling apart. For years, she had been the woman who forgave, the one who smiled for the cameras even when her heart was breaking. But this time, it was different. This wasn't just another rumor, this was proof, and it had been revealed by someone she trusted. The betrayal from Yandy cut almost as deep as Kirk's cheating. It's not what she said, it's how she did it, Rasheeda confided to a close friend off camera. She humiliated me in front of the world. Kirk tried to make amends, publicly posting messages about family and forgiveness, but fans weren't buying it. Comments flooded in, calling him out for embarrassing Rasheeda again and making Yandy do the dirty work. Even Jasmine chimed in subtly, posting a selfie with a caption that read, "Some people love to play hero until the truth hits home." The internet went into a frenzy, debating whether Jasmine was confirming Yandy's claims or simply stirring the pot for attention. Either way, the damage was irreversible. When filming resumed weeks later, the network brought everyone together for what was supposed to be a mediation scene. The producers hoped to patch things up between Yandy and Rasheeda, but the air was thick with resentment. Rasheeda sat stiffly, refusing to make eye contact, while Yandy looked tired, like she'd been carrying the weight of the entire situation. "I never wanted to hurt you," Yandy began softly, "but I can't stand next to people and pretend like everything's perfect when it's not. I didn't mean to expose you, I just wanted you to see the truth." Rasheeda's response was quiet but sharp. "You didn't give me truth, Yandy. You gave me humiliation. You think being honest on camera makes you real, but it just made me a storyline." The room fell silent. Even Yandy, usually confident and composed, looked shaken. "I was trying to protect you," she said again. "Protect me." Rasheeda shot back, her voice breaking. "Protect me would have been calling me before the cameras rolled. Protect me would have been letting me handle my marriage. But you made it a scene, Yandy, and now everybody's talking about it but me." For a moment, it seemed like Yandy might break down. She took a deep breath, trying to explain herself, but Rasheeda had already made up her mind. "We were friends. You crossed that line. I can forgive a lot, but I can't forgive this." She stood up and walked out, leaving everyone stunned. Even Kirk looked defeated, knowing his actions had destroyed not only his marriage, but a friendship that once symbolized strength and sisterhood. After the episode aired, social media went wild. Fans split into sides. #Team Yandy praised her bravery for exposing the truth, while #Team Rasheeda argued that she had no right to interfere in someone else's marriage. Interviews, reactions, and think pieces followed for weeks. Yandy tried to stay quiet, but clips of her emotional confessions circulated online, showing her in tears as she admitted she didn't expect things to go that far. "I thought the truth would help," she said. "But sometimes the truth hurts more than lies ever could." In the following weeks, Rasheeda slowly began focusing on herself again. She returned to her business, spending more time with her kids and putting her energy into rebuilding her confidence. Kirk, however, was noticeably absent from her posts. Insiders claimed she had kicked him out for good, this time with no plans to reconcile. As for Yandy, she became more private, staying off social media and refusing to comment publicly on the situation. It was clear the ordeal had taken a toll on her too. But in the background, fans couldn't help but wonder if there was more to the story. Rumors began circulating that producers might have pushed Yandy to reveal the truth on camera for drama. Some sources even suggested that she didn't plan to drop the receipts that day, that she was pressured at the last minute, caught between loyalty to her friend and her contract. Whether that's true or not remains unclear. But it adds another layer of complexity to a story already bursting with betrayal, heartbreak, and hard truths by the end of it all. One thing was undeniable. No one came out of this clean. Kirk lost his family's respect, Rasheeda lost her trust, and Yandy lost a friend. The drama may have boosted ratings, but it left behind real scars. The entire ordeal became a harsh reminder that sometimes even the truth can destroy everything in its path. Because when secrets mix with loyalty, love, and ego under the glare of fame, there are no winners, only lessons. And for Rasheeda and Yandy, those lessons came with a price they'll never forget. This entire situation between Rasheeda, Yandy, and Kirk has turned into one of the most shocking scandals we've seen in a long time. What started as a moment of truth spiraled into public heartbreak, destroyed friendships, and exposed how fragile loyalty can be when fame and emotion collide. Now, fans are asking the real questions. Was Yandy truly doing the right thing by revealing the truth? Or did she cross a boundary that a real friend should never cross? Did she act out of love and honesty? Or was this all about the cameras and control? Rasheeda's silence says more than any post ever could. After everything she's endured, years of forgiving Kirk, rebuilding her life, and keeping her image together, this time feels different. She looks done, not just with Kirk, but with anyone who's made her pain public. And Kirk, he's once again standing in the wreckage of his own choices, trying to convince everyone that this was a misunderstanding. But fans aren't buying it anymore. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Yandy was right to expose Kirk and Jasmine's affair, even if it meant losing Rasheeda's trust? Or should she have kept that truth private and let Rasheeda find out on her own? And do you believe Rasheeda will ever truly forgive Yandy? Or is this the end of their friendship forever? Drop your thoughts below, because the truth may have come out, but the fallout is far from over.